Hello and welcome to the Hub Channel, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shadow, and today we're going to be starting a new series called the How To Is series. Now, this series is going to be consisting of 3 parts at the time of recording this. One is going to be hosted by me, which is this episode here, which is a Hearthstone episode, and I'll be going over what that is in a moment. And we're also going to have a Minecraft episode hosted by Danny, and a editing little episode with Jordan. So that's going to be pretty fun and awesome. But getting right into the Hearthstone, basically the Hearthstone, this is going to be for beginning players guide. So if you do already, have some experience with Hearthstone, feel free to go check out some of the other more advanced videos on decks or deck building or any little tricks to get gold, etc. and what you should be doing as a new player. But if you're a new player, welcome, and we're going to be going over the Mage here. So the Mage basically is the first hero that you get in Hearthstone. You get it when you complete the tutorial, and you have some basic cards, which I'll go over in a moment. But first I want to just go over the hero power. You'll sort of introduce this a little bit on the tutorial, but this is basically a deal 1 damage, targetable ability for 2 mana. Now, mana curve is basically, in Hearthstone you have, each turn, so you start on turn 1, then your opponent has turn 1, then turn 2, then turn 2, then turn 3, then turn 3, etc. So you both flip, okay? So your mana, the amount of mana that this costs is the amount of mana. So on turn 2 is the first time you can play this, for example. But I will go a little bit more into detail on that after we've gone over some basic stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some basic cards here, and we're going to look over these a little bit, and we're going to go over all the basic Mage cards for you guys, just so you have a little bit of a brief understanding of how Mage works. I will be showing the golden versions because they just look more pretty. So we have Arcane Missiles as our first card here. This is a 1 mana, so you can use it on turn 1. Deal 3 random damage to any minion. This can mean the enemy hero or any enemy minions. Don't worry, we will go over it in a separate video when I go over board and how to play and so on. If you would like to see that video, and it is released, the playlist is linked in the description below, and also I'll put an annotation on screen. Some are on the screen now, so we're going to move on to Mirror Images. This summons 2 0/1 taunts for 1 mana. These are basically just to put a wall in the way between your health bar and your opponent's attack minions or spells, for example, and it just slows your opponent down. Then we have an AoE, which is Arcane Explosion, which deals 1 damage to all enemy minions on the board. So each minion has a health total, which when they go to 0, their minion dies. In the same way, a hero, when he goes to 0, it will die, and then the other person wins the game, and the hero loses the game. So this card basically does 1 damage across the board. Now this is Frostbolt, and this one it's quite interesting. It does 3 damage, and it also freezes it. So whatever you use this on is going to freeze it. Now, what freezing means is if it's a minion, it means that freeze effect will last for 1 turn, which means that frozen effect will stop that minion from being able to attack for 1 turn. If it's a hero, and say for example that hero is a warrior and they use a weapon, which is something they can equip to their hero, which allows the hero to attack either minions or your own hero, this will freeze the warrior in this case in place, so they will not be able to use their weapon on that turn. Then we have just basic draw cards, which is called Arcane Intellect, if I can know how to speak. And basically this will just draw 2 cards from your deck and put them in your hand. At the start of a game, if you're going first, you'll get 3 cards. If you're going second, you'll get 4, and a coin. Now I'll go over what they are in later videos when I start doing gameplay, but for now we're just going to be going over basic cards for every hero. And as I said before about freezing, this is Frost Nova, but this does it to all the minions on the board, so this is a good way to lock down the other side of the board so it cannot attack for 1 turn. So this is really, really, really strong. Also we have Fireball, which can be used on minions or on an enemy hero. This does just 6 basic damage, so this will either do 6 damage to 30 total health if that's what you're doing it from the start of a game, or it will do 6 damage to a minion. Now moving on, we have Polymorph. Now Polymorph is a very, very interesting card. Basically it transforms any minion that you use this on into a 1/1 sheep. Now this can change anything from a 2/2 from, say for example, a 2/2 into a 1/1, or a 3/3 into a 1/1, or etc. Anything else above it, and it also removes any buffs that card or minion should have. So, say for example, I have a 1/1 that I buffed to a 5/5 with a paladin card called Blessing of Kings. And my opponent polymorphs it. It won't keep the 4/4 buff. It will just become a 1/1 sheep because of the polymorph. And moving on, the last two cards, and one of the cards that makes Mage one of the strongest classes in the game, not this one, but the next one we'll go over in a moment, is this one's Water Elemental. This is basically a easy freeze minion that you can basically just hit into a minion, and then it will freeze the minion for you. This will also do 3 attack, and it has 6 health. And the most overpowered or strong card in Mage's arsenal of basic cards is Flame Strike. It does 4 damage across the whole board, and is really, really good to combo with your Mage hero power. And that's going to wrap up the end of this video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, make sure to hit that like and that favorite, helps out a lot. And that was me going over the Mage class for you guys. If you would like to see a specific class in next episode, make sure to leave me in the comments below the hero you would like, and we'll be sure to do that for you. We're going to be going through all 9 heroes and then going over some other stuff for you basic or new players to the game. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video once again, and we'll catch you next time.
Click on the heroes' faces with annotations and it will take you to that video. Each annotation will unlock for each hero video release. Click on the subscribe button if you enjoyed this video, and please follow us on Twitter to keep up to date on